Today we're going to be talking about Walt Disney World's Lightning Lane pass types. I'm Kim.
I'm Brad.
We're 6260 Ohana, California. So today we're going to be talking about breaking them down to the different levels or tiers, if you will, of the Lightning Lane passes and what that all means.
Yeah, and we'll give you a little bit of our experience of using the different types of passes, and I'll let you guys know this is only for Disney World. Disneyland actually has a little bit different set of rules to this, so we're going to do a separate video on them, so be on the lookout for that.
So first of all, you're going to want to learn about each of the different types of the Lightning Lane passes and how to buy them.
Yeah, and there are a lot of different names that have been used through the years, so this is where it gets really confusing, but we'll break it down. So let's go ahead and talk about buying the passes.
All right, so first of all, you're going to have had a downloaded My Disney Experience app so you can get that started, and then 3 to 7 days in advance, you can go ahead and buy your Lightning Lane pass, depending on which one you want to buy.
And why is it 3 to 7 days? Well,
okay, so for 7 days out, it's for those guests that are staying on Walt Disney World property. So you get that advantage of a little extra time.
and of course the 3 days is for everybody who's not staying on property.
Those open up at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's important because I guess we're West Coast, so for us, that ends up being 4 a.m.
Yeah, a little early.
So just keep that in mind, the time changes. And of course, you're going to need a valid park ticket, whether that's your annual pass or park ticket for that day. These do not include the price of admission.
Yeah, and also be warned on that some days you will need a reservation at certain parks, so that's something to also be aware of.
So at the time, you can only buy them up to 14 days of your stay. So if you have 14 or above stay, wow, lucky you, you're going to have to do this as a 2-step process.
So yeah, you're going to have to buy another 7 days in advance, that extra day if you're staying 15 days. So it's something just...
Or more.
Or
if
more.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Nothing to know before you buy any of the Lightning Lane passes is they will show you available times that you can pick before you pay. So if it's not going to work with your time and maybe you have that 3 days out and it's, 9, 10 o'clock at night for a ride, and maybe you have dinner reservations or little ones and you can't make that, at least you know that kind of issue ahead of time so you're not buying it and then kind of left out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our first type of Lightning Lane, which is?
Your Lightning Lane single pass. That's a mouthful. Anyways, so those are for a single ride. So you can buy up to 2 of those per day, per person. So at Magic Kingdom, that's a 7 Dwarfs Mine Train, and that'll cost you somewhere between $11 and $19 per day, kind of depending on crowds, and if you're going during spring break and holidays, marathon weekend, it's probably going to be more towards that $19. And Tron Light Cycle Run, and that's $19 to $22 per day.
And then let's go on to Epcot, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And that'll cost you a $14 to $18, depending on the day, because they do flex that depending on how busy they are.
And then at Hollywood Studios, you have Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. This will set you back $15 to $25 per person. Yeah, that's a little spendier.
And of course, Animal Kingdom has Avatar Flight of Passage, which is costing around $11 to $18 per day.
So that just kind of breaks down the single. Now, you can buy the single pass in addition to the next 2 types of Lightning Lane passes, which is the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass or the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. So it kind of will explain as we go on that one.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass.
So that starts at $32 per day. They don't really give a range of what that is. So it kind of depends once again. That's going to include your photo pass pictures on the attractions and around the park.
Yeah, so definitely take advantage of those if you have this.
And that is a multi-park experience. You have to have your valid park ticket, but you can park hop with this multi-pass.
If you have a park hopping ticket.
Correct. So what happens is at the 3 to 7 days in advance, you can select up to 3 rides. Now, this is kind of important. For Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios, they have a tier pass. So their tier 1 rides are going to be their more popular rides, something along the line of Tiana's Bayou Adventure or
Space Mountain.
Yes, thank you. And, Frozen Ever After, Epcot, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your second tier, which you get to choose 2 rides. So you're picking 3 rides in advance.
Yeah, and those second tier are usually the not as thrilling rides, let's put it that way, but they are still fun. It's kind of cool to be able to do that before you get in the park to have, okay, I got these 3 times.
Yes. So it's kind of nice because if you went like Epcot, it might be one of the little small feature films, and then it might be something like Spaceship Earth, Living with the Land, things like that. So underneath the Lightning Lane multi-pass, Magic Kingdom has 18 attractions, Epcot has 10 attractions, Hollywood Studio has 13 attractions, and Animal Kingdom has 9 attractions. So that kind of lets you know a little bit about each park and maybe how you want to split it up, things like that.
So if you have that 7-day advantage, it is a huge advantage to be right on at 7 a.m. to get that maybe Frozen Ever After or those big rides you really want to, because those tend to go really fast.
Okay, and once you do make a selection, once you scan into the park, after 2 hours, you can either make a new attraction, or if you came into the park and rode the ride, as soon as you scan your pass or your Magic Band Plus, some rides you have to scan twice before it'll let you pick your next selection. Some of them are only 1 scan-ins. It depends on the ride, and that rolls off, and then you pick your next selection. So kind of a tip here is it's really good to do your tier 1 early.
Another thing to know is that you will not be able to make another reservation for the same ride. So if, say, if you had Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, you will not be able to make another reservation after you used it again.
So it's once per ride per day per person.
Mm-hmm. But it does let you go to other parks with this.
Yeah, that's the nice one about this pass is it is flexible, because if it wasn't, you'd definitely get more value out of Magic Kingdom than you would have Animal Kingdom. But then again, you could do like a Epcot in the morning, Animal Kingdom in the afternoon, and kind of bounce that out. But like you said, with this Lightning Lane multi-pass, you can buy that plus your Lightning Lane single pass ride if you'd like to. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, they really... Lightning. It's not a fun to explain everything, but it's kind of what they've got. So let's go to our next Lightning Lane, which is Lightning Lane Premier.
Okay, this is the big one. This is up to $449 per person per day. Wow.
Yeah, it's costly, and especially if you want Magic Kingdom during the summer, you're going to be paying that high price.
All right, so this is a single park use only. Of course, you already have to have your valid admission ticket, but on top of that, you don't get to park hop like you do with the Lightning Lane multi-pass.
So if you're going to Magic Kingdom, you have to choose Magic Kingdom, and that's only the ones that's valid at. You can't go from Magic Kingdom to Epcot. It's just not going to work that way.
And once again, you want to check and make sure that you see if you have to get park reservation for that park, because like a Saturday at Magic Kingdom, we found out recently that yes, even late at night at like 5 o'clock, they made us get a park reservation before we were allowed to enter.
Another thing about this can sell out.
Yes, so that's something to keep in mind. So the advantage of this pass is that you don't need to schedule times. So it's not like the Lightning Lane multi-pass or even the Lightning Lane single pass where you have to have a reserved time. You can go up to that ride once a day and go anytime you want.
Again, only 1 ride per day.
So that's kind of important. Animal Kingdom, this is going to run you, depending on crowds, $119 to $199.
And Epcot will run you $169 to $249.
Hollywood Studios is going to be $269 to $349.
And let's get to the expensive one, which is Magic Kingdom, which is from $329 per day to $449 per day.
So something to kind of understand about the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, it's almost like you took the Lightning Lane multi-pass and combined it with a single pass for that park that you chose. So if you did Magic Kingdom, you'd get both Seven Dwarfs and Mine Train under that, and the Tron Light Cycle Run.
Yeah, so those single day passes that you could pay and everything else, you can actually get 2 of them in, but you're going to be paying more. So it's kind of a
now
catch, I guess.
Yeah, it is a catch. So one of the things to kind of know is you can combine a Lightning Lane Premier and get an additional Lightning Lane single pass. Wow, that's so light.
Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to, that you could actually purchase Guardians and use your Lightning Lane Premier Pass to go on Guardians once with that, and then use the single pass to go on it twice.
Right, so that's kind of a cool thing. That gets a little expensive. We did do it for Guardians of the Galaxy's Cosmic Rewind. We did try this Lightning Lane premiere at Epcot one day.
Yeah, and the reason we wanted to try it, we wanted to see how fast we could get through it. And really what we found with this is that if you wanted to do a park in half a day,
this is a great option.
Yeah, you can get right through all those rides really quick, as long as there's not the normal ever so often breakdowns and stuff like that can happen. But we really got through Epcot really fast.
Well, the kind of nice thing I liked about Epcot is a lot of times if you did like a Lightning Lane multi-pass, is you're going from one end to the park to the other. So you might start at Frozen Ever After and come all the way back to Living to Land to go to Remy's Adventure, all the way back to Guardians of the Galaxy's Cosmic Rewind if you got the single pass. So you could, this kind of lets you flow with the park a little bit better, less walking. It's on your own time, so you're not going to have to worry about those advanced dining reservation times or any tours or anything else you might want to do. This is also a great option if you kind of want to sleep in, so you didn't want to have to get up, but you want to get all those big tier 1 rides or those single pass rides, if you will, and get it all done and just feel like it's a lot more relaxed pace.
Another advantage this could be for are people who are trying to do 4 parks in 4 days, which you really want to ride every ride. It's going to cost you, but it is an option if you really wanted to get through all of it.
Absolutely, it'd be, you would get through all the rides in each park, especially Magic Kingdom where there'd be like 20 attractions, and that's not including meet and greets. You know, this allows you to take your time through the parks, maybe do more meet and greets, maybe go see the shows at Hollywood Studios that you would have maybe be crunched for time. Or if you're looking for those shows at Hollywood Studios, you could go whenever you want and do the rides and not have to worry about times overlapping or having to cut something out.
Yes. So this version of Lightning Lane has been compared a lot online, and a lot of debate, I guess, is what we've heard about, is trying to compare this to the VIP tour. So we wanted to do a little bit of cost breakdown on what that would be, so you kind of have an idea of it. And so let's go ahead and start with the cost of the VIP tour.
So the VIP tour at Walt Disney World is ranging anywhere from $450 to $900 per hour with a 7-hour minimum.
Mm-hmm. And you still need your valid park tickets with that as well. And it will accommodate up to 10 guests.
So that's going to run you anywhere from $3,150 to $6,300 per day.
So that if you had a group of 10, you would have a cost of $315 to $630 per person.
Now, the VIP tour is kind of different because you get to park hop and get on any ride you want in those Lightning Lane front of the line, if you will. And, you know, you get
more access to different things. I mean, we've never done the VIP tour, so we can't say for certain everything on it. But, you know, it is kind of, it's obviously you're going to get a little bit more benefits out of it.
Well, the kind of nice thing, too, is they're going to guarantee reserved seating for your nighttime shows with that. They're also going to get hard-to-get, same-day advanced dining reservations if they're able to. Things like that, and they're able to plan out the day more effectively for you. And pick you up at your hotel, and you don't have to worry about hopping on buses from park to resort to park or moving your car around, whatnot. So, it's a...
I don't think it's a apples to apples type of comparison on this. We wanted to address it because we've heard it, but
it's still a significant price difference. So if you were looking for a little bit more of a discount, that Lightning Lane premiere for one park might be an option instead.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully we answered all your questions. If you're finding this video helpful,
please like,
subscribe,
and follow along with our Ohana.
So our final thoughts on this is, yes, this can be a very confusing mess, but once you start figuring out the little in and outs of it, it actually goes very smoothly for everybody.
Now, the one thing I forgot to add on the Lightning Lane multi-pass is once you get that new selection that rolls off after you haven't made a selection in 2 hours or you rode a ride and you scan and it rolls off, is if you don't see the ride you want, is a lot of times if you go back into that app, you can go and refresh, and we have gotten, I think I got Slinky Dog Dash once off of that, or Frozen Ever After, by doing that refresh on the app. So don't give up.
And yeah, unfortunately, this is the way of Disney now. So this is the extra cost of Disney if you don't want to waste the lines.
They're standby.
Yep. So with that, I think it's time for us to say goodbye and
Find your magic. Bye, everyone.